It's day 5 of coding and solving LeetCode problems. I thought this was going to be an easy matrix problem, but I actually got stuck on it for a while. Let's get through it. Okay, let's see. Come on. Okay. Another matrix. Okay. You're given a matrix and an integer k. Matrix rows are 0 index. Even index rows are cyclically shifted to the left k times. Odd index rows are cyclically shifted to the left and to the right. Okay, so what's happening? Even index rows, so rows 0, 2 and 3 are cyclically on the left. So 1 goes to 3 place, cyclically shifted to the left. So 1 is even index, 3 is even index. 3 goes to 2. Oh, this is annoying to understand. Okay, and odd rows are shifted to the right. So you have to return true if zero even index rows, not the cells, but the row matrix. The matrix rows are 0 indexed. Following even index rows 0, 2, 4 are cyclically shifted to the left. Row cyclically shifted to the left. In each step, left shift is applied to rows 0 and 2. Right shift 1, row 1. What is row 1? 1, 2 and 3. So left shift is becomes, so row 1 will go 2, 3 and 1. I understand. And the odd index row 4, 5, 6 becomes 6, 4, 5. Okay. And then again the last one becomes for each row. Okay, so I think, well, what I'm thinking is, if k is even number, let's what was the, I think I found I think it's called xcalidraw. Yeah, this is what I was using the other day. So let me rub this all. Eraser. Let's rub it. Okay. Okay, let me take this out, take that out, minimize this. I don't need this. Oh, minimize, sorry, this. I do need my LeetCode problem. Okay, let me put it on my left screen and whiteboard on the right screen. Okay, let's try to understand it properly. So we have, let me draw this. Can I just type in? We have row. Okay, let me increase. I'm still learning. So we have row 1, and then, well, let's consider this row 0. Oh, what am I doing? Row 0, then I have row index, like, and dot, right, dot, all the even rows. So let's say there is I'm still okay. Let's not do this. Let's just have a pen. So if this row 1 has, if there is the length of the row, length number of columns is 3, right? And if k and so this is going, given an m and an integer, row matrix or row index 0, the following happens k times. So each element shifts to the left, right? Like this goes over here and this goes over here. So the only way the full cycle will complete is if For example, if k is 3, so 3 times. So first time it will go here, second here, and third back here. So one full loop, then row 0 will be identical to our initial row. And same for row 2, no? Oh, sorry, for an odd row, like, so as long as, what if I do, well, I think the smart move would be, if the number of columns are is not, if I divide the column, if I divide k by, if let's say k was 5, right? If the number of columns are 3, so 5 divided by 3, which will be equal to 2, so we will have 2 odd cycles left, and the answer shouldn't, so I think that's why it's a simple problem, because let me close this. Yeah, let me close this. So number of, let me have integer number of, because the only thing we're supposed to do is return true or false, right? So let me have an integer, how many column, what is the column number of mat I dot length is less than 25, so that's fine. Integer, I don't need an array, sorry, let me integer called n, which is the number of columns, equals to mat bracket 0 dot length, right? So even if it's do we have a constraint, mat dot length is greater than 1, so there's at least one column given, right? So if I do if k modulus divide, or k divided by let me just do return k, if return if k modulus 3, if there's no remainder, if k modulus 3 equal to 0, then we do return true, else true, else we return false, right? Could be wrong too. Let's run it. If k is 4, what is k modulus 3? If I do, oh sorry, k divided by 3. If k divided by 3 equals to 0, return 2, also return false. K is 3. Oh, what happens if all the elements are same? Okay, so this is okay if there's k is equal to 2. If k equals to 2, yeah, I didn't think about this part. Okay, so that's where I was wrong. What happens if the elements are same? Okay, so things to consider. What happens if elements are same, or if they have a pattern that okay. So what happens? So what do we do? Do we, following process happens k times, so do we loop through each process and actually build the matrix? I mean, I could do that. We could, so instead of doing this, let's try to build the matrix, but that would be k times, no? So we would shift everything k times, so that will be our time complexity, would be higher, no? Or do we have, since we're taking only rows, why don't we have an array of just rows, that, and then within each element we rotate it k times. Okay, let's think about it this way. we take one row at a time, and what do? Okay, let's think about it. Where is a whiteboard? Okay, Xcali draw. Okay, let me. Is there a way to just new sheet? Is there a new sheet? Nope. Let me just. Oh. Okay, so let's say if we take one row at a time, right? And first we check if the value of k is greater than the number of columns, right? If it is, then we do k divided by column, we get the remainder. Then we rotate this index, this array, to the left this many times, right? So what we're doing is we're swapping the values from, for that I equals to whatever remainder is, right? Okay, let's create, to have an integer array called row values, which should be equals to the number of rows. We have an integer m equals to mat.length. Okay, new array of value m. Let's do for teacher array row in what, mat. For each row in mat, for integer array row in mat in grid, right? Row value bracket for each row. Right, let me have an index 2, teacher the index equals to 0. What we do here for row values bracket index equals to row, right? So we get the whole row in that index. Now what happens? So row value array is populated with each row separately, right? And then, right, we have row values and each row is in this row array, right? An array of row value will have an array of array values. So what do we want to do now? For each even and odd, so what do we want to do? So let's go for even rows first. Because if any row is different, we would return false, right? Let's do for teacher I equals to 0. I must be less than, because the number of row are m, I plus plus. What do we want? First, let's check the value of k. We have an integer k, integer if our k is greater than what, our number of columns, so column length, that is n. If k is greater than n, what do? We do teacher remainder equals to k divided by n, and what do? We want to rotate. So if okay, how does a rotation work in a list? Let's say whiteboard. Let's say we have a list of 4 numbers. Okay, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, 1 2 3 4, and let's assume we want to shift left by 2 index points. So we want our I equal I equals to 0, sorry, 0 1 2 and 3. Oh, let me make it easy, 1 second. Okay, so let's have another array that has 4 values. Make it A, B, C, and D. Okay, and we want to shift left places by 2 points. So we want this thing to become D. So C will go here. So C, D, A, and B. Okay, initially A is at index 0, B is at index 1, C is at index 2, and D is at index 3. And here A is shift to index 0 1 2 3. A is at index 2, right? B is at index 3, C is at index 0, and D is at index 1. So what is the formula? What's happening here? So if the total n equals number of elements is 4, so 4 minus left shift 2, right? What's happening? 4 minus 2 plus I, right? Value of I. So that's 4 minus 2 plus B was at position 1. What's happening here? 4 minus 2 plus 2, right? And then here is 4 minus 2 plus 3. That is minus 1, but do I need absolute or 4 plus I minus 2, right? 4 plus 3 minus 2. 4 number minus length plus 0, 2, 3, 6. Equals to, what if there was another thing? Let's say there was E here, and then what would happen here would be razor. Let me erase these values. Okay, and 1 2 3 4 5. Then E goes at 3, D, C, A, and B, right? And 5. And then eraser, and E is at location 4 initially. And here, what's happening here? A is at location 1. Oh, sorry, 0 1 2 3, location 4. B is at location 5. C is at location 0. D is at 1. 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, 0 1 2 4. Okay, so what formula is happening here? Now length, oh, we have to shift it by 2, sorry, right? 2, but the number of elements now cancel, sorry. Number of elements are 5, right? So that would be number of elements minus L plus I, right? So what will happen here is n is 5. 5 minus 2 plus 0, that is 3, but A is at location 3, yeah. A is at location 3, B is a 4, C is a 0, 1, and 2. So that matches, that's correct. Okay. Why am I pressing this? Okay, and what about the second? And B is 1, so 5 minus 2 plus 1, 3. 5 minus 2 plus I equals to 1. B will be at 5 minus L, 2. So 3 plus 1, no. 2, 3. Or do I do n plus I minus L? N plus L, 5 minus 2, 3. 6 minus 2, 4. 8 minus... How do we left shift? I feel like I've done something wrong here. It shouldn't. There should be a... What hands do I have? You can reduce k. That I know. You can reduce k shifts to k modulus n shifts as n shifts. Oh. You are given this, and 5 minus 2, 5 minus 2, 3 plus 1, 5 minus 2. I equals to 0, 1, 2, 3. When I equals to 2, the C index becomes zero becomes 3, right? Next 0. Okay, let me ask ChatGPT. I think I'm on the right track, but I'm just having issues with. Let's, instead of asking the answer, let's just type in what I am thinking is it's possible if matrix has all same values or a reoccurring pattern, we save each row as an array or one array of all rows inside. If k is greater than number of columns, we mod k by the columns and perform the rotation of on each row and compare to original rows and return false as soon as we find a flaw. Instead of some happens when for a matrix with n columns, even shift left shift by k times, and each row. Oh, after shifting it must remain equal. Instead of actually rotating, check this condition for even row. If this holds for all elements, return true for ij. Oh, so at I n j plus k. Can this not go out of bounds? Oh, so once we're doing, can this not go out of bounds? Okay. So we were kind of right, but we don't have to save all this stuff. Okay, man, why are even easy problems hard for me? I don't get it, bro. So we have integer m equals to number of rows, mat dot leng length. Integer n is equal to mat the first row and the number of elements in it. Okay, and k is equal to k, let's just modulus n, so we have the new value of k. Okay, now what are we doing? We are looping each row for integer. For row equals to 0, row must be less than number of rows, row plus plus. Check if our row modulus, there is a modulus plus 2 equal to 0, then right. Oh, we should have both the columns. Okay, 1 second. And for column equals to 0, column must be less than, and column plus plus, right? For row equals to 0, row must be less than m. Oh, if the row number is even if row 2 modulus 2, row modulus, right, row modulus 2 equal to 0. We want to check if mat bracket mat bracket row bracket column is not equal to mat bracket row, and then in the column, because we're doing a left shift, so we do column number minus k plus a column, yeah, we do column plus k column plus k, because we already did k equals to k modulus. Column plus k, and then if we do modulus n, right, then return false. Okay, else what do you know? Else we check if it's odd, if mat bracket row and bracket column is not equal to mat bracket row and bracket, we have to column, so when you have to shift it to our right, right? Even is when we are shifting it to our left, right is when we are shifting right. So we have column minus k, and it could be negative, plus n, and then we mod it by n. So and then we return false, and at the end we return true. For row, oh, let me have for integer row, I have an integer column. What am I doing? Row must be less than n, row plus plus. Do I have r somewhere else? I think not. Okay, this is done, but I want to ask chat, let's see how did this guy do. Oh yeah, we could definitely, if k equal to 0, return true. If mat ij is not equals to, why isn't he checking it for? Okay, so let me ask it. So let's say we have an array of integers, we want to shift them. We use the same logic but use a temp variable. So reverse the whole. Okay, I guess this is it. I'm gonna log off now. And okay, learn something new. Okay, let me submit my task. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. Where's my OBS? OBS noob issues. OBS right here.